Hello Year 5, here's the start of my narrative for Fluffy Wakes Up. So as you can see, I finished my first paragraph describing Ron, Harry and Hermione going down the corridor and reaching the door, and then I've started my second paragraph when they've stepped inside. Obviously this one I would have to make more detailed in my final piece. Just wanted to show you one of the tasks that I've set for you today, which is to highlight the simple, compound, complex sentences as well as the one-word sentences in your work. So first of all, I'm going to read my story to you, A, so that you are familiar with it, and B, so that I can actually check the work myself. I can proofread that the sentences make sense. I've put what I wanted to put. So Fluffy wakes up. It was the middle of the night, and this was their only chance to discover what lay behind the towering wooden chamber door. Nobody knew. As quietly as a mouse, the cautious whispering children, with their hands tightly clasped around Harry's invisibility cloak, made their way along the narrow corridor which led to this mysterious door. Once they reached the end of the corridor, they looked cautiously around them for one final time. No one was there. Fetching her wand from inside her cloak, that should be cloak seat. Told you I was proofreading and editing rather than clock. Fetching her wand from inside her cloak, Hermione cast a spell, and a thunderbolt shot out at the lock. It twisted and turned, and eventually the door opened with a creak. As they stepped inside, it was the noise that startled them at first. Snores. Loud, deep snores, which came from the three-headed beast, penetrated the air. Whilst I read out my narrative, I obviously spotted the mistake I made here. I put clock instead of cloak, so I've changed that. But also here I put it twisted and turned. Now it's all past tense, it should be it twisted and turned. Now I'm happy that my sentences make sense. I'm going to check now I've got a variety of sentences. So let's look at the first sentence. It was the middle of the night. So I've got a subject and a verb. And this was their only chance to discover what lay behind the towering wooden chamber door. Again, I've got a subject and a verb, so it's not a simple sentence. The two sentences have been joined together by a conjunction and I know and is a coordinating conjunction, so that means that this sentence then must be compound. So I'm going to highlight that one in green. The next one is nobody knew. That is a simple sentence. It's got a subject and a verb. It's not a one-word sentence because obviously there are two words in it. So I'm going to highlight that one in yellow. The next sentence. As quietly as a mouse, the cautious whispering children with their hands tightly clasped around Harry's invisibility cloak made their way along the narrow corridor which led to this mysterious door. Now I've got lots of skills from this week in this sentence. I've got a simile. I've also got an expanded noun phrase. I have also got some of the Year 5 skills such as a relative clause. Now this sentence opener here is quietly as a mouse, we could say is a simile starter, but because of that as at the beginning, that's the subordinating conjunction making this a complex sentence. So I'm going to highlight that one in blue. Next sentence, once they reached the end of the corridor, they looked cautiously around them for one final time. Once is a subordinating conjunction, so I have used another complex sentence. Now it's okay to have the same types of sentences following on from each other, but then I wouldn't want, say, perhaps 4 or 5 of the same sentences. So I need to make sure that the ones after it are not more complex sentences. So let's see. No one was here. That's a simple sentence. It's got a subject and it's got a verb. Subject being no one, verb being was. Next sentence. Fetching her wand from inside her cloak, Hermione cast a spell and a thunderbolt shot out at the lock. Now some people would say that this is a complex sentence because of this sentence opener. This is just an ing sentence opener. Ing sentence openers can go in the front of simple sentences. They can go in the front of compound sentences. I need to look at this part to understand whether it is a simple or a compound sentence. Hermione cast a spell and a thunderbolt shot out at the lock. Hermione cast a spell is a sentence. It's got a subject and it's got a verb. A thunderbolt shot out at the back, that is a sentence, it's got a subject and it's got a verb. They're joined together by a conjunction, and as we found out in this sentence is a coordinating conjunction, so that makes that one a compound sentence. It twisted and turned, and eventually the door opened with a creak. Again, that is a compound sentence. Now, what I've noticed with my 3 compound sentences, I've used the same coordinating conjunction. So I need to make sure then in my other paragraphs, because I've still got obviously 2 and a bit paragraphs left to write, I use other coordinating conjunctions. So remembering the phrase fanboys to help you. So I could use obviously for, nor, but, yet, or so, because I've used and 3 times already. Let's have a look at my next paragraph. So my next paragraph, I've tried to link obviously by using some cohesive devices. Okay, so as they stepped inside, they is a cohesive device. It saves me repeating obviously Ron, Harry and Hermione. We know obviously who it is. So let's look at this sentence. As they stepped inside, it was the noise that startled them at first. As they stepped inside, as is subordinating conjunction. So we can highlight that one in blue. Now let's check. I've used a variety of subordinating conjunctions. I've used as twice and I've used once as well. So I probably want to just be careful and not use as too many more times. Snores, that is a 1-word sentence. Now you don't want to use lots of 1-word sentences, you want to use them for effect. Okay, so pick and choose the right moments to use 1-word sentences to normally add drama, build suspense. Okay, and normally then after that 1-word sentence you would describe in detail more about that particular word. So here I've got loud deep snores, which came from the 3-headed beast penetrated the air. I'm going to obviously remove this embedded relative clause when I'm thinking about what type of sentence it is. So loud deep snores penetrated the air, that is actually a simple sentence. It's got a subject and it's got a verb, so I'm going to highlight that one in yellow. So as you can see, we have got quite a nice variety of sentence lengths. We've got obviously 3 examples of simple, we've got 3 examples of complex, we've got 3 examples of compound, and we've got a 1-word sentence as well. And obviously all the different sentence types don't follow each other, so I haven't got all 3 of the compound ones together, haven't got all 3 of the simple ones together. Within one paragraph I've got 3 different styles of sentence types. So just make sure that in your work you have used all of the different sentence types, you've varied your conjunctions, and have fun writing.